is one of my biggest regrets.
Oprah Winfrey says she feels partly responsible. And one of her biggest regrets, she says, was
when you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that is. So imagine that for over a period of months and years, and you know that it isn't true.
She, quote, deeply regrets the royal racist controversy and is very sorry. What do you make of that? All of these regrets, isn't it too late?
And picture this. The same woman who once gave Meghan Markle the golden ticket to global sympathy, the stage of her life, just ripped it right out of her hands. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of talk, the woman whose 2021 sit-down with Meghan and Harry rocked the monarchy to its core. Oprah sat in front of millions and said something no one expected. She was wrong, not mistaken, not misunderstood, wrong, lied to, manipulated, played like a fool. And she admitted it in front of the whole world. That moment wasn't just a correction, it was a cultural earthquake, because Oprah didn't just distance herself from Meghan. She turned around and apologized, yes, apologized, to Catherine, the Princess of Wales. The very woman Meghan tried to brand as her nemesis. In one brutal swing, Oprah flipped the script. Meghan's empire? Hanging by the thinnest thread.
Most important thing for them, before I do any interview, I have a conversation with whoever I'm interviewing and ask, tell me what your intention is, and I will tell you what my intention is, and let's see if we can align those two, because I don't want you to finish an interview and at the end of the interview say, I wish I...
Oprah didn't whisper. She detonated. She pulled the rug out from under Meghan's carefully built victim act. Imagine the ultimate ally becoming the ultimate betrayer. This wasn't a polite backtrack. This was a demolition. Live on television. Oprah exposed lie after lie while Catherine sat silent and yet somehow emerged the winner. If Meghan's feud with the royals was bloody before, Oprah's betrayal was a blade to the heart. Because when your fiercest supporter becomes your fiercest critic, there's no recovery. And the twist? Oprah wasn't done. What came next turned Meghan's humiliation into something permanent.
Oprah wanting to distance herself from Meghan.
She says she's not very friendly with Meghan.
For years, Oprah was Meghan's crown jewel, the woman who could transform whispers into truth, elevate gossip into gospel. Back in 2021, Meghan knew it. She walked into Oprah's garden, armed with her sob story. The world listened because Oprah handed her the mic. That wasn't just an interview, it was a cultural thunderclap. But fast forward, that same Oprah, she flipped. Not only did she back away, she went live on air and said she regretted the entire thing. She admitted she should have pushed harder, checked the facts, and stopped Meghan from using her stage as a weapon. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most powerful women alive, confessed to making a deadly mistake. And to admit that, on live television, that's not regret. That's a career death sentence. For Meghan.
Color of the baby's skin. You asked Harry about it when he came out. He did not tell you who it was. Harry still is choosing to protect the identity of whoever that was.
Yes, and he did not share the identity with me that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather that were a part of.
What makes this betrayal sting deeper than any headline is the intimacy. Meghan wasn't just a guest. She was welcomed into Oprah's inner circle, treated like family, which is why this reversal sliced like a knife. This wasn't a stranger calling her out. This was Oprah, the one who stood shoulder to shoulder with her, now dismantling her empire piece by piece. Oprah didn't sugarcoat it. She looked into the camera and confessed Meghan hadn't just misled the world. She misled her. She said Meghan used her trust, weaponized their bond, and spun a pity story that simply wasn't true. Oprah's words dripped with raw emotion. She admitted she felt used. That single revelation shattered Meghan's credibility. Not cracked. Shattered.
Would have taken the Sussexes. So I get a call from Prince Harry on Easter Saturday, and he says, sorry to bother you, but...
What's the secret to your eternal personal glow?
Well, Harry.
Megoo, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Let's be clear. Oprah isn't some gossip blogger. She's a cultural institution. Her brand is built on authenticity, trust, and truth. For her to declare that Meghan lied straight to her face, that wasn't a correction. It was a public execution. Oprah even confessed, I should have seen through it, but I chose to believe her. That was my mistake. Translation: Meghan lied. Oprah broadcast it. The damage? Irreversible. That moment wasn't just betrayal. It was the death of Meghan's narrative. In front of millions, her crown jewel, the Oprah interview, turned into the very rope unraveling her empire.
This preposterous pair sitting down, giving that interview, that awful interview to Oprah Winfrey, calling the royal family racists, false.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
And then Oprah moved in for the kill. She left emotions aside and brought out the receipts. Suddenly, this wasn't an apology anymore. It was a line-by-line destruction of Meghan's most famous claims, starting with the bridesmaid dress drama. Remember how Meghan painted Catherine as the cold, cruel villain who made her cry? Oprah exposed the truth. Both women cried. Meghan twisted it.
Did you make Kate cry?
No, the reverse.
In one sentence, Oprah demolished years of toxic headlines. Catherine wasn't the ice queen Meghan made her out to be. She was just human. Then Oprah lit fire to Meghan's biggest sympathy card, the racism claim. Meghan implied the entire palace was poisoned by prejudice. Oprah clarified, it was one private comment, not systemic hate. That distinction gutted Meghan's narrative and left viewers in shock.
My wife is not visibly black, but that's who she is. The way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of color.
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that.
Oprah didn't stop. She revealed the palace had actually tried to support Meghan. Resources, counseling, help easing her transition. Meghan had twisted those efforts into ammo for her victim storyline. Oprah's message was crystal clear. Meghan didn't just misrepresent facts, she weaponized them. And then, Oprah pivoted. She turned her spotlight on Catherine. And the contrast? Brutal. Catherine, who never lashed out, who faced life-threatening cancer with quiet dignity, was now painted as authentic, steady, and resilient. Words that hit harder because they came right after Meghan was branded manipulative. While Catherine battled cancer in silence, Meghan was busy uploading glossy Instagram reels and selling jam jars like nothing else mattered. One woman was fighting for her life. The other was fighting for attention. Oprah laid that contrast bare. Catherine, the symbol of hope. Meghan, shallow and desperate. That dagger, sharp enough to puncture Meghan's brand entirely. For Meghan, the nightmare wasn't just losing Oprah's support, it was Oprah replacing her with Catherine as the woman the world believes in. And just like that, every shield Meghan ever had crumbled, every defense she had clung to. The Oprah interview card she flashed every time critics circled was ripped away, because now, that interview was no longer her crown jewel. It was her curse. The very woman who gave her the microphone now stood in front of the world and called it a lie. This wasn't just a correction, it was a collapse. Meghan's entire strategy had always been to control the narrative. Say it first, say it loud, drown everyone else out. But when Oprah flipped, Meghan couldn't spin it. She couldn't dismiss it as tabloid trash, couldn't paint it as another smear campaign, because the words weren't coming from the palace. They weren't coming from the press. They were coming from Oprah Winfrey, her once loyal ally, her biggest champion. And in the court of public opinion, that was a death sentence. Defenders of Meghan felt betrayed. Doubters of Meghan felt vindicated. That lethal combination spelled one thing: abandonment. Meghan wasn't just criticized, she was abandoned. And abandonment, when it comes from the person who built your stage, isn't slow. It's instant. It's brutal. What made the whole thing even worse wasn't just the content, it was the timing. Meghan had been in the middle of her big comeback play. The glossy relaunch, the curated Instagram posts, the lifestyle rebrand with candles and jam jars meant to scream, "Look at me, I've reinvented myself." Then, boom, Oprah. One broadcast and all that sparkle collapsed. Instead of people talking about Meghan's shiny new brand, the world was glued to clips of Oprah calling her out as a liar. Headlines didn't talk about Meghan's comeback. They dissected her humiliation. Her rebrand wasn't just overshadowed, it was obliterated before it even began. Months of planning, destroyed in a single night. And the public? They didn't hold back. Polls shifted overnight. Catherine, the quiet warrior, earned a tidal wave of sympathy. Meghan? She sank to record lows. Her glossy, airbrushed posts looked pathetic compared to Catherine's quiet resilience. It was a masterclass in devastating timing. Everywhere Meghan looked, from TV to TikTok, there were clips of Oprah's words spliced against Catherine's calm, unshakable appearances. Meghan's brand didn't just take a hit, it detonated. And Meghan? Silent. The woman who always had a statement, always had a reaction, always had a carefully curated response, had nothing. Her team scrambled, typing up drafts, trying to salvage her image. But every statement they wrote sounded hollow compared to Oprah's raw honesty. The louder Oprah's truth echoed, the smaller Meghan looked. Humiliation spread faster online. Hashtags mocking Meghan's brand trended worldwide. Meme pages compared Catherine's dignified silence to Meghan's glossy PR reels. Even Meghan's most loyal fans hesitated. How do you defend someone when her biggest ally, the Oprah, just pulled the rug out from under her, and the silence from Catherine? Devastating. She didn't clap back. She didn't post a thing. She didn't need to. Her silence screamed louder than Meghan's entire PR machine. Meghan looked desperate, irrelevant. Catherine looked like the winner without lifting a finger. For someone like Meghan, someone who thrives on controlling the spotlight, losing it so publicly wasn't just painful, it was annihilation. In the end, this wasn't just a scandal, it was karma. Pure, poetic karma. Meghan had weaponized Oprah's stage in 2021, using it as her battering ram against the monarchy. And now, that very same stage turned on her. Oprah didn't just step back. She crushed Meghan's credibility with her own hands. The symmetry is cruel. The woman Meghan leaned on became the woman who dismantled her. Not tabloids, not palace insiders. Oprah, the one voice Meghan could never silence. The betrayal? Absolute. When strangers turn on you, you rebuild. When fans fade away, you rebrand. But when your most trusted ally flips sides, the destruction is total. Meghan's empire wasn't attacked. It imploded from within. And that's the kind of downfall no amount of PR spin can erase. Her entire narrative, once untouchable, is now radioactive. For someone who built her identity around controlling the spotlight, being exposed by Oprah isn't just a setback. It's a scar the public won't forget. And the twist? Catherine never moved a muscle. She didn't orchestrate a takedown. The palace didn't pull strings. The press didn't dig up dirt. Meghan's empire collapsed from within, brought down by Oprah's confession, and that is why people called it the ultimate betrayal. Meghan Markle, once celebrated on Oprah's stage, is now haunted by it. That platform turned from her crowning moment into her public undoing. But here's the kicker. If you thought Oprah's broadcast was Meghan's worst nightmare, you haven't seen what happened when Meghan's own father stepped out of the shadows and spoke about her controversial past. That bombshell made this betrayal look like the warm-up. And trust me, that's a storm you'll want to see.